All right, well, welcome to our step-by-step here for converting a fraction to a decimal. We'll go ahead and do a couple of these on the screen, step by step, and hopefully you'll feel really good about this math by the end of our session. So let's start with a relatively easy problem. We will go with converting 3/4 to a decimal. Remember that a fraction is always the same thing as a division problem. So to set this one up, what we would be doing is we would be taking 3 and we're going to divide it by 4. Okay, so there's our setup. Does 4 go into 3? No. So that means we put a 0, we add a decimal, and then we ask, does 4 go into 30? Yes, it does. How many times does 4 go into 30? It goes in 7 times. So 7 times 4 is 28. So we subtract 28 from 30. That leaves us with 2. Add another 0 and bring it down. Now we have 20. Does 4 go into 20? Yes, it does. How many times does 4 go into 20? 5. 5 times 4 is 20. So we have a nice even number. And 0.75 is our conversion of 3/4 to a decimal. Okay, let's do one more conversion here. Let's convert 2/3 into a decimal. Okay, so everything the same as we've already done. We're going to do 2 divided by 3. Does 3 go into 2? No. 0, decimal, decimal. Does 3 go into 20? Yes, it does. How many times? 6 times. That gives us 18. It leaves us with 2. Since we still have numbers, we add another 0, come down. Now we have 20. Does 3 go into 20? Yes, it does. How many times? Interesting. 6 times. That's going to be 18, and that leaves us with 2. So what you have probably figured out at this juncture is we could do this problem into infinity. We could keep dropping down zeros. We could keep putting 6s in. And at the end of the day, the same thing is going to keep happening. We're going to keep ending up with 20. We're going to keep having 6s that go in. So for the purposes of this course, the truth is that 2 decimal places will always be sufficient. So in this case, if we were converting 2/3, what we have come up with, and this 0.666, since we have 1 place, 2 place, and then a 6, we would round up. So 0.67 would be a fine answer here. If we were to scratch out the 2 and we had made this a 1/3, what we would have ended up with was 0.333 on out into infinity. And then in this case, we would round down, not up. So we would have 0.33 in that case. So those are 3 quick walkthroughs for how to do fraction to decimal conversions. All right, let's do another one. Same pattern as before. We'll just make the problem just a little bit more complex, but the process will be the same. So let's convert the fraction 3/8 to a decimal. So you already remember how to set this up. This is going to be 3 divided by 8. So that's how we're going to set up our problem. And now let's go ahead and work this. So does 8 go into 3? No. There's our 0, our decimal, and our decimal. Does 8 go into 30? Yes, it does. How many times? 3 times. So we have 8 times 3 is 24. So now we have 30 minus 24. And that leaves us with 6. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do what we have to do in division. We'll bring our 0 down, and then we'll put it here, and then we ask ourselves, does 8 go into 60? And the answer is yes, it does. How many times does it go in? 7. 7 times 8 is 56. That leaves us with 4. Since we have a remainder, we keep working. Add another 0. Bring it down. Now we have 40. Does 8 go into 40? Yes, it does. How many times? 5. 5 times 8 is 40. And we now have a nice even number. And we are left with the conversion 0.375.